Okay, back again. I have the primary and the secondary. These are the secondary metering rods, and the primary are here. I am seeing some discoloration. Not sure how bad that is to be. So I think I wanted to try real quick. I definitely don't want to clean them with anything that's going to reduce their size or change their size. So I decided to try a Scotch-Brite pad to see if that would clean it up. And Scotch-Brite pad, I think I got these from my automotive paint supply store. I've tried doing some painting. I didn't want to take that off. Dang nabbit. Let me look at the other one so I can make sure I can see how it is supposed to be on there. Okay. It looks like you hook it over here and she goes underneath behind that hook. Alright, let me set that one down. Hopefully it'll stay in place. Alright, close enough. So it does seem to be cleaning up some. But again, I don't know how much of a big deal it is. I'm trying to be gentle. Definitely don't want to flex or bend this puppy. And I probably shouldn't even be handling it like such. But as they say, and for a penny, and for a pound. So it does seem to be cleaning up some. Again, I'm putting not a lot of pressure on. It's firm, but not a lot. So that has cleaned up some. Let me do a little bit more spray here. Again, I know this is a precisely measured item. Alright, that looks pretty decent, and I think that's about all I want to do messing with it. So you can see, you can compare before and after. Alright, I'll mess with the other one. I guess I should at least give a few swipes up here where the bend is. Okay. Alright, let's work you out. Okay. Let's move you out the way. Okay. Again, I don't know if I should be doing this. So I will give my disclaimer I gave on my other videos when I first started this. This is how I'm doing it. Right, wrong, or indifferent. So don't by any means think this is how you should do it. If you want to try it, do it the same way I am, and it works for you, I'm glad I could help you. But my disclaimer is I'm figuring this out as I go along. And my philosophy is I'd rather learn something along the way and screw it up. Bottom line is, if I got to pay somebody to fix it, I would have had to pay them to fix it anyway, and I would be none the wiser. But at least this way, if I screw it up, I still got to pay somebody to fix it, maybe even a little bit more because they got to undo what I've done. But at least I've learned something. You can't put a price tag on education. Well, technically you can. Universities do it all the time. But you understand what I mean. As G.I. Joe would say, now I know, and knowing is half the battle. Alright, I think that's about all I want to mess with. I am trying to convince myself I don't need to mess with that anymore. Okay, I don't want the spring to come off, and I think I'll just give you a few swipes with the old Scotch-Brite pad. Clean you up some. Again, I am not looking to do anything crazy, just to clean her up some. Okay, that's about all I'm going to do. Don't want to get too crazy with it, which for me is hard because I always don't know when to stop. Okay, alright, well, let's see if I can put this puppy back together. You came out of this side and you came up behind the spring. Okay, and you came out of this side, and I need to get that spring back over there some kind of which way. This is going to be interesting. Okay, get back behind there. Alright. Okay. Okay. Let's try the other way around. Okay, you're back here underneath there. Oops, get back there. Being extra gentle. Don't know if I need to be or not, but I am trying to grab there. Make sure you're behind there. Okay. Which way are you going? I could probably do this better without these gloves on. Alright, let's do this. Work up behind. Come on, a little bit more, and get over there. Did you make it? Did you make it? Did you make it? Looks like it. Alright, looks like I got spring behind, spring behind. Alright. Okay. Alright, at this point I believe I am, oh, sorry, nope, I'm not done cleaning. I'm done cleaning the major, not major, but the larger pieces. I still have forgotten about my bowl of jets and needles. Alright. Needle seat looks good. I'm not going to use the Scotch-Brite on it. I'm just going to take a few swipes, clean it up. Nothing crazy. Now on that video I told you, Mike the carburetor mechanic, he said that unlike automobile carburetors, where you screw this thing in until it bottoms out and then back out two, or that was one, that would be two. He says that you should back out 3 to 4 complete turns. Which sounds about right, because if you remember, when I counted screwing them in till it bottomed out, one side I was 3.5, and the other side I was 3.25, which may have really been 3.5, or the other one may be in 3.25 with my funky counting. But in any case, that definitely sounds about right. Now, this guy is really gunky up. Trying to see if it's how rough it is. Okay. See if a few judicious swipes, spins on Mr. Scotch-Brite can get that seat cleaned up. Again, I could be doing myself disservice. I don't know. I will find out, I suppose. Worst case scenario is I have to buy a new needle. Really worst case scenario is I gotta buy a whole new carburetor. That shouldn't be an issue though. Lord, this Chem 12 stuff just rips through these gloves. I said Chem 12, Chem Tool 12. Actually, I've got the 5mm thick gloves. I probably should go on with some heavier gloves, knowing I'm going to be working with these chemicals. Maybe 7mm. But it still beats having them in contact with my skin, which I used to always do. I used to not care. But the older I get, and quite honestly, the more my wife complains about my rough hands on her delicate skin, the more I wear my gloves. I'm sure that was too much information for you, but well. Alright, back to the jet. Okay, the jet don't look too bad. I will run my piece of whatever through. They're definitely not clogged. And again, like I said, I definitely don't want to go all crazy, all willy-nilly with these guys. That was more than enough. So bottom line is to just spray these guys out. Very liberally. Woo, made a wet spot. Okay. Oops. Why were these safety glasses? And this stuff is spraying. It can go any and everywhere. Alright. Oops. Again, I want to be very careful with these jets. I still see a little bit of gunkolium on there. Let me try this. It's in the groove where you put the screwdriver. It's in the grooves there. I want to see if I can't get that stuff out. I don't want to scrape too much because I don't want any of that material to come off. I know this is brass and this blade of this steel, and will quite easily and quickly gouge and liberate material. Okay. And again, I'd rather the stuff come off now than get a couple of bottles of carburetor cleaner in there and this stuff works its way and clogs into the jet, and then I'm back doing this again. And this is over a, what is this, a 3-day period? 4-day? Let's see, I couldn't do anything yesterday. Friday. Today is Saturday, what's left of it. It's almost 10 o'clock, or probably it's after 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. Of course, I have been doing this exclusively. I had to work Thursday, I think Wednesday, Thursday. I couldn't get a chance to do anything yesterday because we went to go see The Lion King at the Kennedy Center Opera House. If you're familiar with DC at all, JFK Opera House, good old downtown DC. Went to go see the stage play of The Lion King, and I greatly recommend it for anybody, young and old, who wants to see a great play. To me, the best part of the play was the music. I mean, it is a musical. And even with The Lion King, the cartoon, the movie, the music was a great part. One of the biggest parts of the movie. The music. So, the stage play does it too. And the way they have the, I don't want to say animatronics, but how they have the people simulate the animals, the lions, the hyena, the boar, the giraffe. Oh, no, oh my goodness, the elephant. The elephant was awesome. Unfortunately, they did not allow us to take video or photos, so you'll just have to take my word for it. Better yet, why don't you go see The Lion King if it comes to your area? It'll be in DC until August sometime. I want to say 17th, but I could be wrong. I've been known to be wrong once, twice in my life. Okay, these threads, I won't use the metal brush on these threads. I'll see if I can't use this bristle brushes. Stiff bristle brush. Hopefully you can do a little something. Again, I know because this is brass. Well, I think it's brass. I could be wrong. I don't want to use any. I want to use very little metallic objects in contact with it. Probably should have done this on these screws versus using that hobby knife. But I have another one I can try it on and see what happens. So in any case, that doesn't look too shabbily. I wish I could get inside here really well, but again, before I talk myself into using that metal brush, I'm going to set you down and move on to the next one. On to the next, on to the next one. Okay, let's try you first. But yes, the Lion King show was very, very, very good. I recommend it. It's expensive. We were actually on the balcony in the very last row, and those tickets were $93 each. So I can't imagine what being in a box or down, you know, on the first level or in the wings would cost for that show. But in any case, I still say save your pennies and go see it. It's worth it. Yeah, maybe I can spray some on you. That might help. Okay, it's not too shabby. There goes that glove again. So a little bit of stuff down up in there. A little bit of stuff down up in there. See that? Again, I'd rather try to be very careful and gentle and get it out now than to have it work its way loose once the sea foam or something else gets up in there and it doesn't break it down enough and it clogs someplace. Again, maybe I'm just being overly paranoid, but as I've mentioned before, while I will dig into a carburetor, I am not very comfortable with them. My Volkswagens, I've done them. My motorcycle, lawnmowers, not my model airplane stuff. Those carbs are really small. I don't like messing with them either. Weed whackers, you know, I'll mess with them. I just hope I'm doing it right. Alright, I think this is probably the last item that I need to clean. Look at that. I mean, you just saw me put that glove on. I got that fingernail. I'm sure that's not helping matters any. This is the screw where the check ball, that little ball bearing, goes in. Alright. Okay, I think I'm pretty much done. I think my my last thing to do is this item here. I will do some spraying off, blowing off I should say, with the air, compressed air, one last time, and then I believe I will start the assembly and go from there. I do have a couple quandaries. So as I mentioned, this is the float seat for the float needle, and this is the one that came out of the carburetor, but the one that's in the marine kit doesn't have these cutouts in it. Now, I don't know how important that is or not. I assume that these cutouts let the fuel in a little quicker versus if they're closed off, the fuel has to come over the top. But I guess in general it shouldn't matter because, you know, the level of the fuel should be high enough anyway, but I don't know. That's one issue. But anyway, the thing that makes me wonder about that is because I was watching the rebuild by Mike, the carburetor guy. I think his name is Mike. And the one he put back in was like this from his kit. His had the cutouts, and it actually looks like he used the automotive kit too, versus the marine kit that I used. So I don't know. So that's that. And like I said, in my kit, I wonder if I should hold on to this. But in any case, in my kit, they had gave me a new pump assembly there. But he mentioned in his video that the kit that he has, he actually, his had a rod in it, but he had to reuse his spring and keeper, but it had the gasket and this piece on the end on it. But his was made for ethanol based fuels, which of course almost all of our gasoline now. I think there are parts of the country that don't use ethanol. I don't know if they are or not, but in any case, that is my understanding of his kit. His pump was I guess the rubber piece here is of a material that's better suited for ethanol fuels. So I don't know. Oh, you know what? I forgot. I bought these pipe cleaners. I didn't even use them. I had some older ones, but they were so old that they rusted. Because my intention was to run them down through these jets, and because they're fuzzy, they should not scrape. But I am going to leave well enough alone and say, oh well, maybe next time. Alright, so I think I'm done with cleaning, and my next step will be assembly. So I'll see you then. Bye bye.